The smell of cheap wine and desperation hits me as soon as I open our apartment door. At 17, I've gotten used to coming home to chaos, but tonight feels different. The living room looks like it's been ransacked, cushions torn off the couch, drawers pulled out, papers scattered everywhere. My name is Aiden, and I'm watching my mother destroy what's left of our lives. It has to be here somewhere, Mom mutters, crawling on her hands and knees, shoving aside old magazines and bills. Her hair is a mess, and she's still wearing her work clothes from this morning. I know I put it right here. Mom! I set my backpack down carefully, like I'm trying not to startle a wild animal. What are you looking for? She jerks her head up, eyes wide and glassy. Aiden, thank God you're home. Help me look for the ticket. I bought it this morning. The winning numbers, I saw them on TV. We won, baby. We finally won. My stomach drops. I've heard this before too many times. What ticket? The lottery ticket. 6 numbers, Aiden. 6 perfect numbers. She scrambles to her feet, swaying slightly. If I can just find it, all our problems are solved. Your college fund, the rent, everything. The mention of my college fund makes something cold settle in my chest. Mom, what do you mean my college fund? She waves her hand dismissively, already back to searching. I just borrowed a little. Once we find the ticket. How much? My voice comes out harder than I intended. Mom freezes, her back to me. The silence stretches until I think she won't answer. Just a few thousand, she whispers finally. I had a system, Aiden. It was guaranteed. The room spins. That money was everything. 3 years of saving tips from my diner job, birthday checks from Grandma Margaret, even the guilt money Dad sends every month. All of it gone. You promised. My words come out choked. You swore you wouldn't touch that money. I'll pay it back. She turns to face me, mascara streaking down her cheeks. Double, triple what I borrowed. We just need to find this ticket. There is no ticket, Mom. The truth hits me like a physical blow. You're drunk. You probably never even bought one. Don't say that. She grabs my shoulders, her fingers digging in. I'm not making this up. I'm trying to give us a better life. I gently remove her hands. Like you tried last month? And the month before that. You don't understand, she says, her voice cracking. I'm so close. I can feel it. You need help. I need my son to believe in me. She grabs her purse from the floor, dumping its contents. Receipts flutter like dead leaves. Just help me look. Please. I watch her desperate searching, and something inside me finally breaks. This woman, this shell of my mother, has gambled away not just money, but my future, my trust, our relationship. Everything. I can't do this anymore, I say quietly. She doesn't even look up. Just 5 more minutes. It has to be here. I walk to my room, pull out the duffel bag I've had packed for weeks but never had the courage to use. When I return to the living room, Mom is sitting amid the mess, clutching a handful of old lottery tickets. These aren't it, she mumbles. But maybe. I'm leaving, I tell her. Now she looks up, really sees me for the first time tonight. Her eyes fix on the bag in my hand. What? No, you can't. I'm going to Grandma Margaret's. Aiden, please. She struggles to her feet. Il fichtes. I promise. That word again. Promise. How many times have I heard it? How many times have I believed it? I love you, Mom, I say, reaching for the door. But I can't watch you destroy yourself anymore. As I walk out, she calls after me, her voice breaking. I'll find that ticket. You'll see. Everything will be different this time. I close the door on her words, on her promises, on the ruins of our life together. My hands are shaking as I pull out my phone to call Grandma Margaret. Sometimes walking away is the only way to save yourself. Grandma Margaret's spare bedroom feels like a time capsule. Sitting on the edge of the twin bed, I scroll through missed calls from Mom while old photos of Dad stare down at me from corkboards on the walls. Younger, happier versions of him back when he still lived here. Back when we were still a family. My phone buzzes again. This time it's not Mom, it's Dad's number. Hello. My voice comes out smaller than I intended. Aiden. Dad's voice is careful, measured. Your mother called me. She's worried sick. Of course she called him. She always does this, creates chaos, then rallies the troops when things fall apart. I'm fine. Iam at grandma's. Look, son, I know things with your mom can be difficult, but running away isn't the answer. I grip the phone tighter. She took my college fund, Dad. Every penny. The silence on the other end stretches out. Finally, he sighs. I'll talk to her about paying it back. That's not. I start, but he cuts me off. Listen, I've got a meeting in 5 minutes. We'll figure something out, okay? Just go home. Your mom needs you. The line goes dead before I can respond. I stare at the phone, fighting back the familiar ache of disappointment. Same old dad, swooping in with empty promises, then disappearing when things get real. A gentle knock at the door pulls me back to reality. Grandma Margaret stands in the doorway, holding a mug of hot chocolate. Her silver hair is pulled back in its usual neat bun, but her eyes are tired. "That was your father?" she asks, though it's not really a question. She hands me the mug and sits beside me on the bed. "He wants me to go back." She makes a sound somewhere between a scoff and a sigh. "Of course he does. It's easier than actually dealing with the situation. Mom called him. She called me too." Grandma's voice is gentle but firm. "Wanted me to convince you to come home. I told her you're 17, not 7. You can make your own choices." I take a sip of hot chocolate, letting the warmth spread through my chest. "Did she tell you about the money?" "No, but I'm not surprised." She reaches over and straightens a crooked photo on the wall. Dad at my age, grinning in his football uniform. "Your mother's always been looking for quick fixes. Even before the gambling." My phone buzzes again. A text from Mom. "Please come home, baby. I found the ticket." Grandma glances at the message. She hasn't changed that story yet? She never does. I set the phone face down. Remember last Christmas? When she swore she'd won enough to buy back our old house. And the time before that, when she was convinced she'd hit the jackpot but lost the ticket? Grandma shakes her head. "Your father was the same way with excuses. Always had a story ready. This is new information." "Dad gambled." "No, but he had his own ways of running from responsibility." She pats my knee. "Why do you think I have so many photos of him as a teenager? He was easier to love back then." Another text buzzes through. "The numbers match. Come see." I turn off the phone completely. "I can't go back, can I?" "You can do whatever you think is right," Grandma says. "But ask yourself this, if you go back now, what changes? Really changes?" Before I can answer, the doorbell rings. Through the window, I catch a glimpse of Mom's beat-up Honda in the driveway. "I'll handle this," Grandma says, standing up. Her voice has that steel edge I remember from childhood scoldings. "You stay here." As she leaves the room, I hear Mom's voice floating up from downstairs, that familiar desperate pitch that used to make me cave every time. But now, sitting in this room full of frozen memories, something feels different. Maybe it's seeing Dad's younger self on these walls, or maybe it's just finally reaching my breaking point. But for the first time, I don't feel the urge to rush down and fix everything. Sometimes the hardest part isn't walking away, it's staying away. I take another sip of hot chocolate and wait for the storm below to pass, knowing this is just the beginning of a much longer battle. The shouting downstairs has been going on for 20 minutes. I can hear Grandma Margaret's steady voice trying to maintain control, but Mom's getting louder, more hysterical. My hands shake as I scroll through my phone's photos, landing on one from 2 years ago. Mom and me at her company picnic, both smiling, her arm around my shoulders, before the gambling took over. A crash from downstairs makes me jump. "He's my son." Mom's voice carries through the floorboards. "You can't keep him from me. Jenna, you need to leave before I call the police." "Go ahead. Call them. I'll tell them you kidnapped my child." I stuff the last of my clothes into my backpack and head downstairs. The scene in the living room stops me cold. Mom's mascara-streaked face, Grandma Margaret standing between us like a shield, and scattered across the floor, dozens of lottery tickets. "See." Mom waves a ticket at me. "I told you I found it. We won, baby. We can fix everything now." Grandma Margaret picks up one of the tickets. "Jenna, this is from 3 months ago." No, that's not the right one." Mom drops to her knees, frantically sorting through the tickets. "It's here somewhere." I saw the numbers. The sight of her on the floor, desperately clutching at paper scraps, makes my chest tight. "Mom, please stop." She looks up at me, eyes wild. "You don't understand. This is our chance. Once you fin eats it." "There is no ticket." The words explode out of me. "There never was. You're sick, Mom. You need help. Don't you dare." She stands up, swaying slightly. "Don't you dare judge me. Everything I've done for you." "For me." Something snaps inside me. "Was it for me when you emptied my bank account? When you pawned Dad's watch that he left me? When you—" "I was trying to make things better." She steps toward me, but Grandma Margaret moves between us again. "You think I wanted this life for us? Living paycheck to paycheck, barely making rent. We were doing fine until you started gambling." "Fine." She laughs, a harsh sound. "Is that what you call it? Working double shifts at 17? Paying bills that should have been your father's responsibility. At least I was responsible. At least I didn't throw everything away on some fantasy. Fantasy? She pulls something from her purse, a crumpled piece of paper. Look at this. Really look. Against my better judgment, I take it. It's a lottery ticket from this morning, the numbers smudged from her handling. Those are your numbers, Aiden. Your birthday, the day your father left, the number of the house we lost. Our story. This time it has to work. It has to. The revelation hits me like a punch to the gut. She's been playing our pain like lucky numbers. Get help, Mom. Ihanta ticket buck. Please. Before you lose everything. I already lost everything. She crumples the ticket in her fist. Your father, our home, and now you. What else is there? There's still me, I say quietly. But not like this. I can't watch you destroy yourself anymore. Then don't watch. Her voice turns cold. Come home. Help me fix this. No. The word hangs between us. Mom stares at me like I've slapped her. Jenna, Grandma Margaret says softly, it's time to go. Mom's face hardens. Fine. Stay here with her. But don't come crying to me when you realize she's just using you to get back at your father. She storms out, slamming the door so hard the windows rattle. Through the curtains, I watch her get in her car, sit there for a long moment, then drive away. Grandma Margaret puts her hand on my shoulder. You okay? I nod, but my throat is too tight to speak. She'll be back, Grandma says, starting to pick up the scattered lottery tickets. I know. I bend down to help her. But I can't go back. Not until something changes. Sometimes, Grandma says, people have to hit bottom before they can start climbing up. I look at the lottery ticket still clutched in my hand, at the numbers that tell our family's story of loss. I just hope she survives the fall. The next morning, I wake up to 3 missed calls from Dad and a text that makes my stomach drop. We need to talk. Coming by at noon. Grandma Margaret is already in the kitchen when I come downstairs, methodically folding laundry at the table. Your father called me too, she says without looking up. Apparently, your mother went to his house last night. What? I freeze halfway to the coffee pot. Why would she? To make a scene, I imagine. She sets aside a perfectly folded towel. Samantha wasn't too pleased about that. Of course Mom would do this, drag Dad's new family into our mess. I pour coffee with shaking hands, spilling some on the counter. He's bringing Samantha with him, Grandma adds, her voice carefully neutral. The coffee suddenly tastes bitter. In the 3 years since Dad remarried, I've met Samantha exactly twice. Both times, she looked at me like I was a bomb that might go off. The doorbell rings at 11:45. Dad's always early when he's angry. They file into the living room like a funeral procession. Dad first, then Samantha, both wearing expressions that make me feel like I'm already on trial. Grandma Margaret sits next to me on the couch, close enough that our shoulders touch. Your mother showed up at our house at midnight, Dad starts pacing, screaming about how we've turned you against her. I didn't. She threatened to call social services, Samantha cuts in. Said we're all conspiring to kidnap you. That's ridiculous, I say, but Dad holds up his hand. We have the twins to think about, Aiden. We can't have your mother showing up at all hours making scenes. The mention of my half-siblings, who I've never met, hits like a slap. Grandma Margaret stiffens beside me. So what's your solution, Ethan? She asks, her voice sharp. Dad stops pacing. We think it's best if Aiden goes home. No. The word comes out before I can stop it. Be reasonable, Samantha says. She's your mother. She needs help, not abandonment. Abandonment? Grandma Margaret stands up. That's rich, coming from this family. Mom, please, Dad warns. No, let's talk about abandonment, Ethan. Let's talk about how you've barely seen your son in 3 years. How you send money instead of spending time. How you? That's enough. Dad's face is red. This isn't about me. This is about Aiden making things worse by running away. I didn't run away, I say quietly. I escaped. The room goes silent. Dad stares at me like he's seeing me for the first time. She took everything, Dad. My college fund, my savings, even the watch you gave me for my 13th birthday. She pawned it for gambling money. Samantha shifts uncomfortably. We understand it's difficult, but... No, you don't understand. My voice is steady now, surprising me. You've never watched someone you love destroy themselves. Never had to choose between saving them and saving yourself. Dad sits down heavily in the armchair. What do you want me to do, Aiden? She's still your mother. I want you to be my father. The words hang in the air between us. Just once, I want you to choose me. He looks away, and in that moment, I see everything I need to know. Samantha puts a hand on his shoulder, and I notice she's wearing Mom's old wedding ring. the one Dad said he'd lost years ago. I think you should leave, Grandma Margaret says, her voice steel-edged. They go without arguing. Through the window, I watch them drive away in their expensive SUV, back to their perfect life with their perfect twins who will never know what it's like to be left behind. Grandma Margaret brings me a fresh cup of coffee. You okay? Yeah. I take the cup, noticing my hands aren't shaking anymore. I think I finally am. She sits beside me, and we watch the autumn leaves dance across her front yard. For the first time since this all started, I feel something close to peace. Sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that set us free. A week into living at Grandma Margaret's, I'm starting to understand what normal feels like. No more checking the mail before Mom can get to it. No more hiding my tips in a sock drawer. No more walking on eggshells. Then Rachel, Mom's best friend, shows up at the diner during my shift. She's in trouble, Aiden. Rachel slides into my section, ignoring the "please wait to be seated" sign. Real trouble this time. I continue wiping down the adjacent table. She's always in trouble. She took out loans. Bad ones. Rachel lowers her voice. From people you don't want to owe money to. My hand freezes mid-wipe. What kind of loans? The kind that come with broken fingers if you don't pay. She pulls out her phone, shows me a text from Mom. They're giving me until Friday. Tell Aiden I'm sorry. The familiar weight settles back on my shoulders. How much? 15,000. The number hits me like a physical blow. I think about the college fund she already took, about Dad's dismissal, about Grandma Margaret's quiet strength. I can't help her anymore, I say, but my voice wavers. Rachel stands up. They know where she lives, Aiden. Where you used to live. Where your school is. The threat hangs in the air between us. I think about Mom, alone in our old apartment, waiting for Friday. After my shift, I find Grandma Margaret in her garden, pruning roses in the late afternoon sun. She takes one look at my face and sets down her shears. What happened? I tell her everything. She listens without interrupting, her face growing darker with each detail. We have to help her, I finish. These people will never stop, she cuts in. You give them money, they'll be back for more. That's how they operate. But I've been waiting to show you something. She leads me inside to her study, pulls out an old photo album. Your father doesn't know about this. The photos show a younger version of Grandpa John, who died before I was born. In each image, he looks progressively more haggard, more desperate. Your grandfather had a gambling problem too, Grandma Margaret says quietly. I spent years trying to save him. Paid his debts, covered his lies, watched him promise to change again and again. What happened to him? She closes the album. He died owing money to the wrong people. The life insurance barely covered his debts. My throat tightens. Mom's not Grandpa. No, she's not. She's still alive. Still has a chance to save herself. She takes my hand. But you can't do it for her. My phone buzzes, a text from Mom. Please, baby. I need you. Just this once. Just this once. How many just this once moments have there been? I have some money saved, I say. From the diner. Maybe if. Aiden. Grandma Margaret's voice is gentle but firm. That's your future she's asking you to sacrifice. Again. But if something happens to her, then that's her choice. Not yours. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a photo. Mom and me at my middle school graduation, both smiling, her arm around my shoulders. Below it, she's written, "Remember when we were happy?" I stare at our smiling faces, remembering how proud she was that day. How she promised things would be different. How I believed her. I don't know how to let her go, I whisper. Grandma Margaret pulls me into a hug. You don't have to let her go. You just have to let her face her own consequences. My phone keeps buzzing, but I don't look at it again. Instead, I help Grandma Margaret make dinner, set the table, go through the motions of a normal evening. But with every passing hour, Friday looms larger. Sometimes saving someone means watching them hit rock bottom. But knowing that doesn't make it any easier to watch them fall. I go to bed that night with my phone turned off, trying not to think about Mom alone in our old apartment, waiting for Friday, hoping for another miracle that won't come. Friday comes with a phone call at 3 a.m. It's Rachel, her voice shaking. Aiden, she's in the hospital. They found her behind the casino. The fluorescent lights of the emergency room make everything look sickly and unreal. Mom lies in the hospital bed, her face a mess of bruises, left arm in a cast. When she sees me, she tries to smile, but her split lip makes it look more like a grimace. Baby, she whispers. You came. Grandma Margaret stands in the doorway, her face tight with concern. She insisted on driving me here, even at this hour. What happened? I ask, though I already know. I almost had it, Mom says, her voice dreamy from the pain medication. 3 cherries lined up. Just needed one more spin. The loan sharks. I keep my voice low, conscious of the nurse passing by. She nods slightly, then winces. But I have a plan. If I can just... No. The word comes out sharper than I intended. No more plans. You don't understand, she says, reaching for my hand with her good arm. I found this system online. It's guaranteed to. Stop. I pull my hand away. Just stop. The hurt in her eyes is worse than the bruises. I'm doing this for us. There is no us anymore. The words echo off the sterile walls. Can't you see that? There's just you, destroying everything around you, and me, trying not to get pulled under. Aiden, Grandma Margaret warns softly. But I can't stop. Months of pain and fear and anger pour out. You want to know what I understand? I understand that you chose gambling over me. Over and over. I understand that you'll keep choosing it until it kills you. That's not fair, Mom protests weakly. I love you. Love isn't enough, Mom. Not anymore. A doctor appears in the doorway, clipboard in hand. Miss Collins? We need to discuss your treatment options. And, he hesitates, there's the matter of payment. Mom's face crumples. I don't have insurance anymore. But if I could just borrow. I'll handle it, Grandma Margaret says suddenly. We both turn to look at her. On one condition. Mom's eyes narrow with suspicion. What condition? You check into rehab. A real program, not just promises. I don't need. Take the deal, Mom. My voice cracks. Please. If you love me at all, take the deal. She looks between us, trapped. Through the window, I can see the sky beginning to lighten. Dawn is coming, whether we're ready or not. I can't, she whispers finally. The system. I'm so close. Something inside me breaks. The last thread of hope I'd been clinging to snaps. Then I can't either. I turn away, unable to look at her anymore. I'm done. Aiden, wait. She tries to sit up, setting off the heart monitor. Please don't leave me. The doctor moves toward her bed as nurses rush in. I walk out, her pleas following me down the hallway. Grandma Margaret catches up to me at the elevator. You don't have to decide everything right now, she says gently. Hey, oi. My reflection in the elevator doors looks older, harder. She made her choice. Now I'm making mine. As we drive home in the gray dawn light, my phone lights up with messages from Mom. I delete them without reading them. Then I block her number. It feels like giving up, I say into the silence. Grandma Margaret keeps her eyes on the road. Sometimes letting go is the bravest thing you can do. But as we pull into her driveway, I can't shake the image of Mom in that hospital bed, broken and alone, still chasing her next win. Still choosing the addiction over everything else. Over me. I've spent my whole life trying to save her. Now I have to save myself, even if it means walking away. Even if it breaks both our hearts. Sometimes love means knowing when to stop trying. 2 weeks after the hospital, Rachel calls again. She's at the casino. Been there 3 days straight. Security's about to throw her out. I almost hang up, but something in Rachel's voice stops me. Why are you telling me this? Because she's got your father's watch. The one she pawned? She bought it back, but... Rachel hesitates. She's trying to use it as collateral for more chips. The watch. Dad's last gift before he left. The one thing I thought was gone forever. I find Grandma Margaret in her garden. I need to borrow your car. She looks up from her roses, sees my face. Aiden, just this once, I say. I need to end this. The casino parking lot is nearly empty at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. I spot Mom's Honda, covered in parking tickets. Inside, the air is thick with cigarette smoke and desperation. I find her at a slot machine near the back, still wearing the same clothes from the hospital. The cast on her arm is dirty, and she's muttering to herself as she feeds quarters into the machine. Mom! She spins around, eyes wild until they focus on me. Aiden! Baby, you came. She grabs my arm with her good hand. I knew you would. I'm so close. Look, where's the watch? Her smile falters. What? Dad's watch. Rachel told me you have it. Oh! She pats her pockets frantically. Yes. But I just need to borrow it for a little longer. This machine, it's about to hit. I can feel it. Like you felt it last time? And the time before that. You don't understand. She turns back to the machine. This time is different. I've figured out the pattern. I grab her chair, spinning her to face me. There is no pattern. There never was. Don't talk to me like I'm crazy. She tries to stand but sways, unsteady. I'm your mother. Then act like it. My voice cracks. Just once, choose me instead of this. Something shifts in her eyes, a moment of clarity breaking through the addiction's haze. She reaches into her pocket with trembling fingers, pulls out Dad's watch. I got it back for you, she whispers. I wanted to prove I could fix things. I take the watch. The familiar weight of it makes my throat tight. Things don't need fixing, Mom. You do. I don't know how. Her voice is small, like a child's. I don't know who I am without this anymore. You're my mom. I kneel beside her chair. Or you were before the gambling took over. Remember my 10th birthday? When you took the day off work and we went to the beach. She nods slowly. You built that huge sandcastle. And you helped me defend it from the waves until the tide came in. I touch her cast gently. That's who you are. The mom who fought for me, not against me. I'm so tired of fighting, she whispers. Then stop. I stand up, holding out my hand. Come with me. Right now. Let me take you to rehab. She looks at my hand, then at the slot machine. The lights flash hypnotically, promising one more chance, one more spin, one more dream of easy money. What if I fail? What if you don't? I keep my hand extended. What if this is your real winning ticket? Her fingers twitch toward the machine one last time. Then, slowly, she reaches for my hand instead. I'm scared, she admits. Me too. I help her up, steadying her when she stumbles. But we can be scared together. As we walk toward the exit, she stops suddenly. Aiden? That day at the beach. The sandcastle. We knew the tide would take it, but we fought anyway. Why? I look at her, really look at her. And for the first time in years, I see my mom looking back. Because sometimes fighting a losing battle is better than not fighting at all. She squeezes my hand, and together we walk out of the casino into the harsh afternoon sun. Behind us, the slot machines keep spinning, but their siren song feels a little weaker now. Sometimes the biggest gamble is believing people can change. 6 months later, I'm sitting in the visitor's room of the rehab facility, watching Mom arrange and rearrange a small stack of papers on the table between us. Her hands don't shake anymore, and the cast is long gone. I got your acceptance letter, she says finally. Margaret sent it to me. Full scholarship to state. Yeah, I fidget with Dad's watch, a habit I've developed. Grandma helped me with the applications. You deserve it. Mom smooths the papers again. I've been doing calculations in therapy. Do you know how much I lost gambling over the years? I shake my head. Enough to put you through Harvard twice over. She meets my eyes steadily. I can't give that money back. But I can give you this. She slides the papers across the table. They're bank statements, showing small weekly deposits into a new account. It's not much, she explains. Just my cafeteria wages here at the center. But I'm putting aside 30% of everything I earn. For you. Mom, you don't have to. Gay, oi. Her voice is firm. Not because I owe you, though I do. But because this is what mothers are supposed to do, build futures, not destroy them. Through the window behind her, I can see other patients in the garden. Some are playing cards, but with candy instead of chips. Small steps, her counselor called it. Dad came to visit last week, I say. Her hands go still. How was that? Weird. Good weird, I think. He brought the twins. Your brothers. She says it carefully, testing the words. Are they? They're loud. And sticky. And they wanted to know everything about their big brother. She smiles, but there's sadness in it. I'm sorry you had to grow up so fast. Sorry I made you be the parent. I know. And I do know, finally. The anger that drove me for so long has mellowed into something else. Not forgiveness, exactly, but understanding. I'm not coming home after graduation, I tell her. Grandma Margaret asked me to stay with her through college. Good. She nods firmly. That's good. You need stability, not. She gestures at herself. Works in progress. You're doing the work, though. That matters. One day at a time. She touches the 6-month sobriety chip hanging from her neck. Some days are harder than others. Yesterday, I found a quarter on the ground and spent 20 minutes thinking about slot machines. What did you do? Gave it to the garden fund. She smiles slightly. We're planting tomatoes in spring. A bell rings, signaling the end of visiting hours. We stand, awkward in that moment between goodbye and letting go. I have something for you, I say, pulling an envelope from my pocket. Pictures from the beach. That day we built the sandcastle. She takes the envelope with trembling fingers, but doesn't open it. I don't deserve these memories. Maybe not, but they're yours anyway. Like I'm yours, just differently now. She nods, clutching the envelope. I'm going to keep doing the work, Aiden. Not for you this time. For me. But maybe someday. Someday, I agree. We both know better than to make promises. On the drive home, Grandma Margaret asks how it went. I think about Mom's careful stack of papers, her garden plans, the way she held those beach photos like they might crumble to sand in her hands. She's trying, I say finally. And you? I look down at Dad's watch, thinking about time. How it moves forward no matter what, healing some wounds while leaving others to scar over slowly. I'm trying too. That night, I dream of sandcastles. Not the one from my 10th birthday, but new ones, built with stronger foundations. In the dream, the tide still comes in as it always must. But this time we don't fight it. Sometimes victory isn't about keeping the waves at bay. Sometimes it's about learning to build again after they've gone. I wake up knowing that while our story isn't over, the next chapters will be different. And maybe that's enough.